Artificial intelligence just crossed a threshold in 2025 that nobody predicted would happen this quickly. And the 15 major breakthroughs we're about to examine aren't just incremental improvements, they represent fundamental transformations in healthcare, creative work, scientific discovery, and how we interact with technology every single day. An AI generated music track uploaded to YouTube earlier this year pulled in millions of views almost overnight and ignited a massive copyright battle that's still ongoing, while doctors are now testing treatments on digital twins of human organs before making real world medical decisions. But here's what makes this year genuinely unprecedented. Researchers aren't just building massive AI models anymore. They're creating smaller specialized systems that somehow outperform the giants. And autonomous AI agents are moving beyond just answering questions to actually carrying out complex multi step processes with almost no human supervision. Once you understand how Microsoft's Phi 3 proved a compact model can outperform bigger ones in reasoning tasks, why the European Union's AI Act that took effect in May represents the first real legal framework for artificial intelligence, and what OpenAI's Sora video generation system means for how businesses create marketing campaigns and educational content, you'll realize 2025 isn't just another year of AI progress. It's the year everything changed from experimental technology to integrated infrastructure that's fundamentally reshaping how society functions.
We're examining the top 15 AI advancements that are genuinely defining 2025. From breakthroughs in healthcare and scientific discovery to tools transforming everyday work, this year is already full of genuine surprises that are reshaping multiple industries simultaneously. Starting with how AI is infiltrating the world of creative expression. Right now, tools like Suno and Udio are generating complete songs in seconds that sound professional enough to appear on a Spotify playlist without anyone immediately recognizing they're AI generated. They don't just mimic instruments or replicate existing styles. They write original lyrics, build melodies from scratch, and layer harmonies that feel genuinely musical. And here's where it gets legally complicated. An AI-generated track uploaded to YouTube earlier this year pulled in millions of views almost overnight, which immediately sparked another intense wave of copyright battles about who actually owns content created by algorithms. Film studios are experimenting aggressively with this technology too. Runway and Pika Labs are being deployed to pre-visualize entire movie scenes and advertising campaigns, cutting weeks off traditional production timelines. It's not just a technological party trick anymore. It's fundamentally reshaping how creative work gets produced, even if the question of who legally owns this content remains very much up in the air. Moving to how researchers are building digital twins of biological systems. Scientists at MIT and Stanford are creating digital twins of human organs, basically building virtual models so doctors can test different treatments before making potentially risky real-world medical decisions. Singapore is already piloting what they call lifestyle twins that allow people to see the long-term health impact of choices, like changing diets or starting new exercise routines before actually committing to those changes. Companies like Microsoft and Siemens are rolling this technology out for business applications too, simulating entire workflows to identify problems before they manifest in actual operations. It's essentially like test driving your own future, except instead of crashing a car in simulation, you're figuring out if skipping cardiovascular exercise comes back to negatively impact your health decades later. Then there's AI infiltrating legal and justice systems in ways that raise profound questions. You've probably heard of Do Not Pay, the startup that brands itself as a robot lawyer. What's happening now is similar systems are being tested to analyze complex cases, draft legal filings, and assist people who can't afford traditional legal services. And here's a genuine headline that sparked global debate. A judge in Colombia openly admitted to using ChatGPT to help review arguments in a health insurance case, which triggered intense debate about whether AI should have any role in justice systems at all. Nobody's allowing a chatbot to hand down sentences yet, but AI has already proven it can analyze thousands of legal documents in a fraction of the time humans require. Think of it less like Judge Robot and more like a paralegal that never sleeps, never gets tired, and can process case law at superhuman speed. Moving to holographic interfaces that are finally moving beyond science fiction demonstrations. Meta and Looking Glass are demonstrating early display systems that project 3D objects in front of you without requiring a headset. CES 2025 was packed with startups demonstrating holographic meetings where people appeared life-size across continents, creating a sense of presence that video conferencing can't replicate. Microsoft's Mesh platform is moving this technology into business applications, letting teams collaborate with interactive holograms for design and engineering work. It's not mainstream consumer technology yet, but this year's holographic displays are moving decisively from slick promotional reels to actual pilot programs. It's basically Zoom, just substantially more science fiction. Since AI consumes enormous amounts of electrical power, sustainable AI development has become genuinely urgent. Training one large language model can consume as much electricity as 100 US homes use in an entire year. Microsoft has committed that by 2030, all its data centers will run on renewable energy sources. Google is already at 65% renewable and targeting 24/7 carbon-free operations by 2030. In 2025, research labs are pushing more efficient model architectures and even carbon-neutral training methodologies. It's not just about reducing operational costs, it's about ensuring AI development grows without environmentally devastating the planet. Here's a significant shift you'll notice across the AI industry. Instead of exclusively building massive models, researchers are increasingly turning to smaller specialized systems. Microsoft's Phi 3, first launched in 2024 and updated this year, demonstrated that a compact model can actually outperform substantially larger ones in reasoning tasks. Meta's Llama 3 family is showing the same pattern, with versions specifically tailored for developers and businesses. These models are faster, cheaper to operate, and can even run locally on consumer hardware rather than requiring cloud infrastructure. It's basically AI on a strict diet, except instead of losing capability, it somehow gets sharper and more focused. AI is stepping into the climate fight in measurable ways. It's being deployed to track wildfires in real time, monitor deforestation, and improve disaster predictions. IBM's geospatial AI already helps governments forecast floods and extreme weather events with improved accuracy. Researchers in Europe deployed AI-powered drones this year to monitor coastal erosion and marine ecosystems in real time, gathering data that would be impossible to collect manually. Startups are also testing AI systems for carbon capture optimization, figuring out how CO2 can be stored more efficiently underground. It's still early-stage technology, but AI is finally playing a measurable role in climate action beyond just analysis. Let's bring the discussion closer to everyday work environments. Microsoft Copilot is built into Word, Excel, and Outlook, and millions of people use it daily for document creation and data analysis. Google's AI assistant integrated into Gmail and Docs is rolling out globally, and Notion AI keeps improving its project management capabilities. In 2025, studies show employees using these tools save 30 to 40% of their time on routine tasks like drafting emails and writing reports. It may not sound revolutionary, but it represents a quiet transformation that's fundamentally changing how workplaces operate. Here's where AI gets genuinely exciting for scientific progress. DeepMind's AlphaFold mapped nearly every known protein structure by 2022, laying critical groundwork. In 2025, Isomorphic Labs is partnering with pharmaceutical companies to design new medications faster than traditional methods. AI simulations are helping accelerate the search for cancer treatments and rare disease therapies, potentially cutting years off research timelines. And the applications extend beyond medicine. In material science, researchers are using AI to discover compounds for sustainable batteries. Earlier this year, MIT announced an AI system that identified a promising material for high-efficiency solar panels that human researchers hadn't considered. Let's examine the hardware making all this AI advancement possible. Nvidia's Blackwell GPUs, first demonstrated in March 2024 and now rolling out worldwide, are specifically engineered to handle massive AI workloads faster and with substantially lower energy consumption. Google is advancing with TPU version 5 for large-scale training operations. Amazon's Trainium and Inferentia chips are powering global AI infrastructure with improved efficiency. This isn't only about processing speed, it's also about reducing dependence on single suppliers, since semiconductor supply is now treated as a national security issue by multiple governments. In 2025, the real breakthroughs aren't exclusively happening in software algorithms, they're happening in silicon chip design. Full-scale quantum computers remain years away from consumer availability, but this year has seen significant progress in how they're being applied to AI problems. IBM's Quantum System 2 went online late last year and is already being utilized in research labs to tackle optimization problems in logistics and chemistry. Google announced in January that its quantum team achieved a milestone in error correction, which makes quantum processors far more reliable for experimental work. It's still early stage research, but you can see the trajectory. Quantum computing could eventually become the breakthrough technology for problems that today's supercomputers fundamentally can't solve. Here's where AI starts impacting personal health in direct ways. Predictive health models are moving way beyond diagnostics this year. In February, the Mayo Clinic launched clinical trials using AI to forecast cardiovascular disease risks years ahead by analyzing genetic data, microbiome composition, and lifestyle factors together. Around the same timeframe, the FDA approved new AI diagnostic tools for conditions like diabetic retinopathy and lung cancer detection, with even higher accuracy than previous systems. In the United Kingdom, the NHS is testing AI systems that predict patient demand patterns and optimize staffing accordingly. Healthcare typically moves cautiously with new technology adoption, but in 2025, AI is starting to function less like a diagnostic tool and more like an early warning system for future health conditions. Let's examine how rapidly generative and multimodal AI is advancing. OpenAI's GPT-5, released in May 2025, can now process text, images, and even interactive simulations all within one unified workflow. Google's Gemini 1.5 Pro and Anthropic's Claude 3.5 are pushing similar capabilities, allowing users to upload a chart, a video clip, or an audio file, and receive back analysis that genuinely makes contextual sense. OpenAI's Sora made headlines earlier this year when it started producing realistic video content straight from text descriptions. Researchers are even using it to generate synthetic training data for other AI systems. These tools aren't just technological demonstrations, they're fundamentally changing how businesses execute marketing campaigns, how educators build learning materials, and how creators produce media content. From there, we move to autonomous AI agents that represent a paradigm shift. Instead of just providing answers to questions, these systems can execute entire processes with minimal human supervision. Cognition's Devon, launched in 2024, continues evolving as a fully autonomous AI software engineer capable of writing and debugging code. OpenAI's Operator project, revealed in 2025, demonstrates how agents can actually interact with real-world systems, like booking flights or coordinating multiple applications simultaneously. Microsoft's Copilot Studio allows companies to create custom agents for finance, human resources, or customer support functions. This represents one of the biggest conceptual leaps since early chatbot development. Agents aren't just reacting to prompts anymore. They're becoming proactive problem solvers that feel substantially closer to digital coworkers than passive tools. And here's where we address the foundation underlying everything else. 2025 is the year regulation finally started catching up to technological development. The European Union's AI Act took effect in May, establishing the first comprehensive legal framework for artificial intelligence regulation. In the United States, new executive orders are pushing for transparency in high-risk AI systems and requiring clear disclosure when AI is deployed in government services. The United Kingdom and Canada are advancing their own regulatory versions too.
While all that regulatory activity is happening, cybersecurity teams are focusing intensely on AI-specific threats like deepfake fraud schemes and poison training data that could compromise model integrity. Governance might not sound as exciting as holograms or autonomous agents, but it represents the foundation that determines how safe and trustworthy this entire field becomes as it scales globally. That's it for today, folks. See you in the next video.